Hey folks, welcome to Market Intraday Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com, your leaders in pure technical analysis, avoiding all that Wall Street hype. Today, Wednesday, July 15th, 2009. Well, the market's again off to the races today, led by some fantastic earnings from Intel yesterday after the close. We covered a lot of this in our nightly video to our premium subscribers last night, talking about the probabilities of a monster move today, and that's exactly what we're getting. You just kind of know, if you're with us in the premium service, folks, you were expecting this starting last Friday, a massive move up into what we called our pivot point turn in the markets. When everyone else was bearish, when the media was bearish, when the other outlets, the analysts were bearish, we came out and went bullish. Sure enough, nailed it dead on, and that's why it's so important to be a part of the research center to get these type of calls. You want to be ahead of the curve, whether you're long, short, or just neutral. You need to know what's going to happen. So again, monstrous move today on the markets. All right, we see commodities rallying today. We see financials, technology rallying today. Really everything rallying today. The S&P's up 20 points. The Dow is up 188. The NASDAQ is up by 50 points. NASDAQ really leading on a percentage basis today. Not surprising considering the market's propensity towards Intel's earnings and rallying technology off of that. Now, the question is what's coming, folks, because we all know that it's been a great rally. Okay, well, it's been a good rally. All right, well, what's the next move? Is it a good point to short? Is it a good point to take longs off the table? Is it a good point to stay in because there's more upside? Because there could be more upside here, without a doubt. That, again, is what we'll reveal to our premium subscribers and what we've been talking to them about in the nightly videos and in the research center, in the daily market reports and all the different things, whether it's Pro Trader watch list going long, short, or bullish, bearish, or in the hot charts and alerts, which have been just knocking them out of the park today, folks, and the last few weeks ever since we debuted that service. So, again, I do encourage you. Now, let's get into the hardcore charts on the SPY. We're looking at the 10-minute SPY right now. Now, the question remains, what has to happen here? What are we going to see the rest of the afternoon? I put in key trend lines. I'm going to show you the 10-minute intraday and the 60-minute today so you guys can focus. But what I want to point out, you're running into resistance right here at 92.75. See this dotted line? I'll show you where that comes from on the 60-minute chart. But very, very important to know, this is a key resistance level. If this resistance level breaks, I will tell you by the end of this video where this market will go and where it will have resistance. But right now, this dotted line, look at how beautifully this is working. And again, this is for our premium subscribers in the intraday chat room right now. Same type of charts laid out on an intraday basis. Now, the premium service in the research center gives out the daily calls, the weekly, monthly charts for the longer-term swing traders in the markets, 401ks, IRAs, all that type of investment account type stuff that you're going to want to be privy to, just like knowing that the market was going to pivot on Friday was a key player in whether or not you were going to go long for this week or not. Obviously, our guys knew that call ahead of time and could have positioned themselves to take a massive move up here now. We're talking about close to 400 points or so plus up just since Monday, folks. Monstrous move on the Dow. Now, notice this resistance. Here's your number one resistance, folks. Now, before I get into that, let's just talk a little bit on the economic data that's been out. We had oil inventories today. Initially, oil inventories they actually dropped, which was somewhat, or people would have thought bullish, but it actually dropped the oil trade. The only difference is, though, the dollar got very, very weak, and as soon as the dollar gets weak, it overpowers any inventory numbers out there, folks. Bottom line, dollar weak, oil rallies. Let's take a look at that oil chart quickly here. Look at this. Here's inventories coming out. Inventories come out. They actually dropped inventories slightly, and it falls, but then the dollar starts to get pounded, and look at the move up on the USO today, up $1.21. What a massive move, folks, and we isolated this for our premium subscribers, too. Can't stress that enough. Chat Room Research Center, guys, we had a buyout on this when it broke 32. I even played it myself twice in the chat room at a break of 32 and below 32. Now the USO trading at $33.30 off the highs of the day. Great trade, great oil call. Again, the calls have just been coming like water right now, and they've been dead on. Now, a little other things, guys. Let's talk a little bit about the GLD. You can see the GLD having a good gap up, just trading sideways on a weaker dollar. Let's take a look at the UUP. UUP is gapped down. Look at the gap down on the UUP. Sideways and trading slightly lower here near the lows of the day today, and that's the same thing going on there, keeping oil and commodities pressured to the upside. So you're seeing commodity stocks ripping. U.S. Steel up $2 on the day. AK Steel. I mean, you just look at any of these. AK Steel up $1.23. You can look at any commodity stocks. I would say 9 out of 10 are majorly to the upside here. In addition, financials are just having a monstrous day. Look at Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs had a pause day yesterday on earnings after it rallied pre-earnings on the expectation that they were going to blow away estimates. They did, so it traded flat yesterday. Then you're seeing thrust, pause, thrust, which is one term that we use very often to describe what's going on here, which is a day after a big move. You see that one-day consolidation, and then off to the races again with Goldman up $5.60 right now. JP Morgan trading higher as well by $1.42. Wells Fargo up 95 cents. Bank of America up 55 cents. And this is all, again, on the back of an Intel earnings that really kickstarted a little bit of a short squeeze in this market, keeping things afloat. A lot of things trading very, very nicely to the upside. Now, having said that, what's going to go on this afternoon? Let's go back to the spiders. I really want to focus on this now because you can see this red trend line. Let me show you where this red trend line comes, and it's given us the exact high today. Look at this, following it up. And again, this is why it's so important to have these lines on your charts. Take the low going back to the 13th, connect it to this pivot low right here, which also coincides with this pivot high right up here. See how that comes right through? Well, guess what? Plays a key role right here. You hit it, bounce off, hit it, bounce off, and you never break above this. Now you went up right here where it's a necktie of the dotted yellow line at 92.75 with the red line right here. That's the top so far in the markets, and you've been trading sideways off of that. Now, it's not to say we're not going to break up, but you do have resistance. The more we stay close to this, the more likely we could break out the later this afternoon. We'll have to see, though. If you do move up, the target there would be 93.25. 93.25 would be your target on the SPY as resistance if you get there on a breakout above 92.75. So watch that very closely. In addition, FOMC minutes coming out at 2 p.m. today, guys. 2 p.m. FOMC minutes. There will be some whipping on that, no doubt. There's going to be comments made by the Fed here from their last meeting that probably will sway the market slightly, and you got to be ready for it. Ultimately, I still think the markets will stay positive, if not go higher. They could come in a little on those comments because we are in the near term very, very overbought, but you're seeing a consolidation going on right here, very key consolidation as well. So there's kind of an unbias here. I would say I don't see the markets going negative on those markets. If we did, that would be extremely bearish, but I just don't see it. If anything, I think you pull back slightly or actually go higher. I don't think you pull back more than very, very small amounts today because with oil positive, with Exxon ripping, with Goldman and the financials ripping, and then also you have Intel and technology, there's just too many sectors, no matter what the comments, to really bring this market in drastically. So again, I would say based off of that, if I had to take a guess, I would say maybe a minor pullback, but also the possibility of a surge higher again into the close today as they squeeze the shorts out of this market. Remember, we were the ones to alert, and not only that, but we based it on this, and there's a lot of media picking up. It seems like the media have tuned into our services as well, as they both basically copy what we're saying here. We talked about that Head and Shoulders to our premium subscribers, and as soon as we heard the media talking about it, we said, guys, this tells us we're going to rally. This is just one component, plus our cycle work is telling us we're going to rally. When the media starts talking about a Head and Shoulders, and we were talking about it a week before, then all of a sudden we say, you know what, this isn't going to play out. Watch for the reversal here. Cycle pivot tells us Friday was a pivot up. Sure enough, Friday was a pivot. You made a low on the Friday. Let me show you that on the charts here, and I can go back and exactly show you. Here's Friday. Pivot, up, and then off to the races. The rest is history, guys. Monday up huge. Tuesday slightly hot, positive. Wednesday up huge again today. There's your pivot in the market as called by InTheMoneyStocks.com. All right, a couple other things, guys. Your levels on the downside. If we do start to fall, 20 moving average, good support. Have not hit it today, so you will have support there. Break through that. You're going to have good support at 92.35. Then after that, gap window at 91.65, 50 moving average, wherever that would be at that point, and then 90.50 would be gap fill. I don't, again, expect these down here. Is it possible to test this gap window? Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I don't necessarily think that's going to happen, but if it does happen, it wouldn't surprise me that much, I guess. What would surprise me would be gap fill. If we ever did that, that would very be shocking to me because there's too many strong sectors out there today to really let that happen, in my opinion anyways. All right, so again, market trading sideways here ahead of these FOMC minutes. The market seems to be on pause before that. You're going to see that coming out very, very soon. In addition, we can take a quick look at oil again. You can see oil, very, very strong move today. Nailed this on the swing trade again. Hot Charts and Alerts alerted it. Chat room alerted it. Also, we alerted it in the Research Center daily videos. Obviously, the nightly videos, 30 minutes in length and so forth. So I do encourage you to come check it out. Can't hurt. 1 month. If you don't like it, it's not for you. You bounce out and just unsubscribe from the service. You have full abilities to unsubscribe after that month is over or during that month for when your month is over. The The key, again, guys, is we believe that you'll be hooked based on our calls and expertise and analysis of the markets. A growing investor group here is getting huge and huge. Continue to flock to us because of our basically being ahead of the curve of every other analyst out there and every other media outlet in talking about the markets and giving you insight. And we also teach. That's what we like to do. We want to teach you to fish, not just give you the fish so you eat for one day, teach you so you feed yourself for life. Take care, folks. We'd love to have you along the Research Center, chat room, webinars, you name it. Come learn from us. Come get the guidance that has made people very, very wealthy. Take care.